Hello, Larry with Base Camp at Grand Lake. I am here today to walk you through a project Stella and I recently had wrapped up on our Micro Minnie FLX. As you know, when we travel, we carry our kayaks, our paddleboards, and we bring our bikes along. And to bring our bikes along, we obviously have to put that onto the rear of the trailer. So what we've done is we removed that spare tire completely off the back bumper to the front of the trailer. Normally, we would actually take it off the back bumper and then put it into the back of the Tahoe, but no more. So what we did is, in moving it to the front, we've housed it between the propane tank and the front of the trailer in that bracket that would normally contain the battery for a normal travel trailer. This is a great spot to do that. So I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps that I've done this in. Most likely a bit over-engineered, but I think safety first. When you're traveling 65, 70 miles an hour down the highway, last thing I want to do is have that spare tire come loose and then be bouncing down and causing or wreaking havoc, I should say, on the highway. So with that being said, let's jump right in and I'll walk you through the steps that I went through.
All right, the first step really was to find the right chalk to fit into the bracket so it would not fall through. So I did find one on Amazon, and the link will be below. But with that being said, the chalk is about 6 3/4 of an inch wide. And the first step really was just kind of, how am I going to fasten this into the bracket? So again, pushed a couple bolts through. I'm using a wood block for a backing. And at the same time, I did use a piece of yoga mat to kind of, we'll call it, prevent slippage, to kind of use it almost like a washer in a way, but just to kind of prevent, the bracket or the chalk from moving around inside the bracket. And, the next step really was to kind of tie it all together. So when I did this, I got the chalk into the bracket, as you can see from above, then went underneath after, again, pushing the bolts through and then tightening them up. You can see in the far right corner, the yoga mat kind of sticking out. And again, I wanted to kind of use this to prevent it from sliding back and forth. Not that it would, because it is in there snug. In the upper right-hand corner, it's in there tight. So that really was, step two. Not anything overly complicated. Okay, the next step here was to really just put the tire into the bracket into the chocks. At this point, this is a snug fit. So again, there's no side-to-side motion. And then I took the spare tire strap. It's a 3-point ratchet strap designed kind of not really necessary for this purpose, but it works for this purpose as well. To, again, cinch and tighten that tire on to the bracket. So that strap actually goes underneath the metal bracket and I have it adhered into the tire or the wheel well. Again, cinched down super tight. Really not going to go anywhere. Obviously, out on the first trip, I'll check just to kind of make sure that nothing's loosened up and tighten it up, from shifting. But again, at this point, I'm confident that this thing is not going to pop out. Lastly, I went to the rear of the bumper to remove the spare tire holder. And, I am going to keep this in the Tahoe for a short time being, just as a precautionary measure, just in case something goes wrong with where we located the spare tire up front on the hitch. Again, I don't think anything is going to happen, but again, out of abundance of caution. So just going to kind of jump into the synopsis and get things wrapped up here.
All right, so those were the steps that I took to secure that spare tire to the front of the travel trailer. And at this point, again, a bit over-engineered, but safety first. So my only concern on a go forward would be the performance of the trailer itself with that tire on the front of the hitch versus the rear of the bumper. And, if I find any anomalies or anything that's overly concerning, I'll definitely report back to you on that. But at the end of the day, safety first. So feel free to, reach out with comments, questions. I would be more than happy to answer those for you. And as always, happy adventures.